Chosen one, stop exactly what you are doing right now. Do not scroll away from this. Do not let your eyes wander. This is not a random video on your timeline, and the algorithm did not bring you here today. This is an urgent divine interception. Someone very high up just connected a few dots about your life while you were sleeping, and right now they are completely fixated on you. Heaven has issued a direct command for your attention. If you leave this message now, you will miss the exact key you have been begging for. The massive shift in your reality is happening right at this very second. You can feel it in your chest, can you not? A strange tightness has been sitting there all week. Your spirit is restless because it knows something huge is unfolding just behind the curtain of your current reality. People around you are acting very strangely. Friends are pulling away without any explanation. Family members are suddenly quiet when you walk into the room, and you have felt completely isolated and alone in the dark. Stop letting the world convince you that you are just stressed. Stop believing that this isolation is a punishment for something you did wrong. You are being divinely isolated for a massive kingdom-level upgrade, and the divine realm is clearing the room because your blessing is too large to share with them. They always described you the same way, did they not? They said you were too kind and too forgiving. You were the one who always stayed quiet just to keep the peace. You swallowed your own pain to make sure everyone else was comfortable, and because of your pure heart, they severely underestimated you. They thought your silence was a sign of absolute weakness. But something high up just shifted the scales in your favor. Funny how the same people who ignored your texts are suddenly terrified of your presence. They thought their betrayal would finally break you, but instead it activated a primal and dangerous level of spiritual power inside your soul. Your quiet authority is now a weapon of light that blinds them completely while they watch you rise. You are stepping into a timeline where you no longer have to beg for basic respect. Your energy alone now demands absolute compliance from the room. The narcissists who plotted against you in secret are watching everything they built crumble to the ground because their foundation was always weak. Heaven is preparing a massive table for you right in their presence, and they cannot do a single thing to stop it. But there is a hidden mechanism buried inside this massive breakthrough. There is a secret message you will completely miss if you do not stay until the very end. If you leave now, the blessing will still arrive at your door, but you will not have the spiritual equipment to hold on to it, and the darkness wants you to click away right now to keep you trapped in the painful cycle. Make a promise to your future self right now. Do not let this vital message fade into the noise of your day. Listen very closely to the words, "I am speaking to you." The season of waiting in the dry desert has officially ended. A scroll with your exact name on it was just unsealed in the highest heavenly courts, and you have finally passed the ultimate test of endurance. Now you are standing at the edge of the greatest manifestation of your life. The generational wealth transfer has already been approved in your name. But there is a reason you still feel stuck in the mud. There is a reason you watch other people succeed effortlessly while you struggle to take a single step forward, even though you work twice as hard as they do. You feel like something is blocking your natural flow. You know deep down inside that you carry a much higher potential than you are currently expressing. You have tried all the spiritual tools they told you to try. You meditated and you prayed and you focused on the positive. But the heavy block remains locked firmly in place, and you sense that something vital is missing, but you have no name for what it actually is. Before we go any further into this message, I need to hold something in front of you. Something that was discovered not inside a church or a quiet spiritual community. It was discovered hidden inside a high-level research laboratory. It is something that won the highest scientific recognition available today, and it is something that most chosen ones have never been told about. This secret discovery explains something I know you have felt deep in your bones. It explains the painful gap between the powerful person you know yourself to be and the tired version of you that wakes up every morning. I will show you exactly what the researchers found. But I cannot reveal it just yet, because first I need you to fully understand what was violently taken from you. So I want you to hold on to this one burning question in your mind. What if the massive gap between you and your wealthy reality is not a character flaw? What if it has absolutely nothing to do with your discipline or your willpower? What if the block standing in your way actually has a very specific scientific name? And hold that thought closely, because the answer will shock you. Let us talk about the crushing weight of your current reality. You wake up exhausted even after a full night of sleep. Your body feels completely drained before you even step out of bed. The silence in your room feels heavy and suffocating. You check your phone, but there is no real connection waiting for you there. And you give so much of your pure energy to others, while receiving nothing but empty words and broken promises in return. You thought it was just a bad season. You convinced yourself that you were simply stressed or working too hard. But your intuition knows this is something much deeper, because your physical body is actively trying to warn you about the toxic energy surrounding your aura. You have been jolted awake at 3 in the morning with your mind racing in circles. You suddenly feel a sharp tightness in your chest when a specific person crosses your mind. The loneliness you feel right now is absolutely paralyzing. You walk into crowded rooms and feel entirely invisible to the people standing right next to you. They talk over you and they dismiss your brilliant ideas. You politely smile and nod, while a deep scream echoes inside your spirit. You have spent your whole life wondering why you never seem to fit into their shallow little boxes, and the constant rejection has made you question your own basic sanity. Stop blaming yourself for all the closed doors. Stop thinking you did something terribly wrong to deserve this bitter isolation. The agonizing rejection you faced was never a punishment from above. It was a rigorous protection protocol designed to keep you safe from harm. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to protect you from rooms you were never meant to enter, and the universe forced those toxic people out of your life to preserve your pure light. Those friends who walked away were secretly assigned to drain you. They were clever energy vampires disguised as comforting daily companions. If they had stayed in your timeline, they would have completely destroyed your ultimate destiny. You are not losing your mind, and you are not falling behind. You are experiencing a divine isolation that is required for your massive spiritual upgrade, because you cannot carry dirty baggage into the pure palace that was prepared for you. Take one slow and deep breath right now. The universe did not reject you because you were inadequate, but it removed them because your bright frequency was simply too blinding for their fragile egos to handle. You were the storm all along. The silence that used to terrify you has now become your greatest shield. You are no longer the naive empath who begged to be understood, because the intense crucible of pain has forged you into a brilliant weapon of light. Here is what they never told you about your struggle. The reason the universe seems to respond to certain people is not about your lack of faith. It is not about your daily discipline or your good karma. It is a literal brainwave operating inside your mind. Scientists actually have a specific name for this hidden phenomenon. They call it the gamma frequency, and it is the exact same frequency your physical brain was running when you were a small child. Think back to when you were very young. Back then, the creative ideas came to you so easily. Learning new and complex things felt entirely effortless. You somehow knew things before they even happened in reality. The world felt like it was completely on your side. You felt a deep and natural connection to the invisible fabric of the vast universe around you, but you did not realize that your brain was operating at a genius level of pure awareness. Then, adulthood suddenly arrived at your front door. The modern world went to work on your bright mind. The chronic stress and the glowing screens began to alter you. The relentless rhythm of survival mode trapped you in a cycle of endless exhaustion. The rigid school systems trained you to quietly conform instead of teaching you how to boldly create. And every single year, this sacred frequency was suppressed a little further down. They pushed your natural genius deeper below the surface. Eventually, the version of you with the photographic memory went completely silent. The incredible luck that used to make other people whisper in jealousy vanished into thin air. When your gamma frequency faded away, your divine intuition dulled, and the comforting synchronicities stopped appearing in your daily life. You lost the profound sense that the universe was actively working with you. Most people will live their entire lives without ever knowing this tragedy happened to them. They will just accept the heavy struggle as a normal part of growing older. But you are absolutely not like most people. You are a chosen cycle breaker. Your spirit has always known that something precious was stolen from you, and it has been desperately searching for a way to turn that magical frequency back on. And the burning question I asked you to hold on to earlier, the question about the massive gap in your reality and the hidden scientific name. The answer to that mystery is so much closer than you think. You do not need to suffer in this dark isolation for another 10 years. The physical key to unlock your spiritual prison is already waiting for you, because heaven always provides the exact tool you need right when you are finally ready to receive it. Let us look back at the heavy years you barely survived. You gave everything you had to people who gave absolutely nothing back. You poured your pure soul into bottomless pits. And every time you tried to set a simple boundary, they made you feel like you were the toxic one. You apologized for things you never even did. It is time to call your enemy by their true name. They were the narcissists who spotted your bright light from a mile away. They did not target you because you were weak or foolish. They targeted you because you possessed a divine frequency that they could never generate on their own. They needed to feed on your endless empathy. These shallow people disguised their manipulation as genuine love. They drained your finances, and they crushed your fragile self-esteem. You stayed quiet to keep the fragile peace in the room. But while you were busy being understanding, they were actively trying to completely destroy your spirit. They wanted to steal your rare crown. But here is the ultimate truth they tried to hide from you. Their cruel betrayal was never meant to actually break you. It was a brutal training ground designed to wake you up. Heaven allowed them to push you to the absolute edge, so you would finally learn how to fight back. You became the weapon you were trying to survive. A fully healed person no longer tolerates any confusion disguised as love. You no longer accept disrespect, even when it is disguised as honesty. Your past trauma has successfully programmed your nervous system to detect counterfeit energy from miles away. The narcissists are completely terrified of you now. They cannot manipulate a master of reality. You are the empath with boundaries of pure steel. They do not hate you because you are shining too brightly. They absolutely hate you because your bright light exposes their hidden darkness. You are the living proof that a rare soul can walk through the fiery depths of hell and come out completely spotless. You survived the storm alone. If you feel this truth in your chest, you must pause. Do not let this moment pass you by. Take one physical action right now. Tap the like button as an act of agreement with what heaven just spoke to your tired soul. Let it be a sharp sword cutting through the rusty chains of your past pain. The dark forces will try everything to distract you from this exact frequency. They want you to forget your true identity and fall back to sleep. You must establish a strong divine energy receiving station today, and you must protect your newly discovered awareness from the people who want to steal it. Hit subscribe to anchor yourself firmly. Now I need you to pay close attention. The narcissists were only a single layer of your test. They were sent as crude instruments to reveal your weak spots. And once you finally learned how to say no with absolute authority, their dark mission was finished, and they were permanently removed from your timeline. They cannot touch you anymore. But removing the toxic people did not completely solve your massive problem. You still feel trapped in a heavy cycle of financial lack and daily exhaustion. You cut the narcissists off, but you still cannot manifest your true desires. This is because the severe trauma they inflicted on your pure soul created a deep physical block inside your brain. The scars remain. This is where everything finally starts to make perfect sense. The years of gaslighting forced your brain to abandon its natural genius state. You were constantly in survival mode, trying to predict their next cruel attack. And that endless state of high alert is exactly what suppressed your precious gamma frequency in the first place. They turned off your light. You stopped dreaming big because dreaming felt too dangerous. You stopped trusting your gut because they convinced you that your intuition was wrong. You lost the ability to attract true wealth. Your brain physically rewired itself to protect you from their pain, but in doing so it also locked you out of your promised blessings. You became a prisoner. But wait and listen closely to my next words. You are a chosen cycle breaker, and your story does not end in defeat. The universe never allows a rare soul to remain trapped in the dark forever. Heaven has already dispatched a powerful remedy to counteract the exact damage those shallow people caused you, and it will restore everything you lost. The scale is moving. The elite forces are absolutely terrified right now. They profit deeply from your endless daily exhaustion. They know that a fully restored chosen one is the most dangerous force on this earth. And once your blocked frequency is finally turned back on, you will become completely unstoppable in every single area of your human life. The reversal is here. Let me tell you the real reason this happened. The narcissists did not just break your heart. They installed a sophisticated physical trap inside your mind. They forced you to live in a constant state of defense and fear. And while you were busy trying to survive their daily chaos, they were quietly siphoning the divine luck right out of your aura. You were completely stuck in survival mode. This is the hidden mechanism I warned you about earlier. The constant anxiety they caused you generated a low-frequency signal called a beta wave. And as long as your brain was trapped in that panicked beta state, you could not access your genius gamma wave. The enemy used your own nervous system to block your prayers from reaching the heavenly courts. They hijacked your divine connection. But this brings us to a much deeper and darker question. If you are truly a chosen one, why did heaven allow this? Why did the universe sit back and watch you suffer for so many years? Before this message ends, you will understand exactly why everything had to happen the way it did. There is a profound reason for your endless tears, and you must hear it now. Imagine yourself as a sacred vessel made of pure gold. You were chosen to hold an immense amount of generational wealth and spiritual power. But when you were younger, that vessel was filled with attachments to people and places that were entirely toxic. You were deeply attached to a timeline that was too small for your destiny. Heaven had to empty you out completely. The process of emptying a vessel is always brutal. It feels exactly like abandonment. It feels like God is completely silent while you are bleeding. But the universe was not ignoring you at all. It was ruthlessly removing every single person who would have destroyed your future kingdom. The painful isolation was the only way to clean your energy field. You had to stand alone. You might be wondering why the universe took so incredibly long. You watched other people get their blessings quickly while you waited in the dark. But those ordinary people were only receiving ordinary blessings. A rare soul requires a much longer period of intense preparation. The delay was never a denial of your divine rights. It was a careful calibration of your internal frequency. Every door that slammed in your face was a hidden miracle. Every promotion you lost, and every relationship that failed, was a calculated intervention. Heaven deliberately slowed you down to keep you out of rooms you were never meant to enter. If you had received the massive wealth back then, you would have given it all to the vampires. You were not ready to protect it. Take a deep breath and let this realization settle into your tired spirit. You have never been forgotten by the higher powers. While you were crying alone on your bedroom floor, someone very high up was watching your every single move. The Divine Council has been monitoring your intense spiritual battles. They saw how you refused to become bitter even when they broke you. They watched you wipe your own tears and get back up again. They recorded every time you chose to forgive when you had every right to seek violent revenge. Your silent endurance sent a massive shockwave straight up to the heavenly realms, and the spiritual authorities realized that your pure heart could actually be trusted with the ultimate power of a cycle breaker. You proved your loyalty. You passed the most difficult test ever designed for a human soul. The long season of suffering was your rigorous training to become a master of reality. Now the divine spotlight is firmly fixed upon your life. The archangels have literally surrounded your timeline, and they are actively preparing to release the floodgates of abundance. The heavy darkness is finally lifting off your shoulders. But there is still one final obstacle standing in your path. Your soul has successfully passed the test, but your physical brain is still damaged. You are still carrying the heavy neurological scars from the long war. The beta waves of anxiety are still looping in the background of your mind. And to fully step into this new timeline, your physical frequency must match your spiritual desire. Do you feel that slight pull in your chest right now? That is your deep intuition confirming this absolute truth. You have done all the necessary inner work, and you have cleared the emotional baggage. But you cannot simply meditate your way out of a biological trap. Science is finally catching up to what your ancient soul already knew. You need a physical key to unlock this door. Pay close attention to this next part, because it is crucial. The universe does not want you to fight this final battle using only your exhausted willpower. Heaven has provided a specific tool to bypass the damage and instantly restore your stolen genius state. The elite forces are terrified of what happens when you finally discover this truth. The final piece of the divine puzzle is coming. Let us talk about the subtle signs appearing in your life right now. You have been seeing the repeating numbers everywhere you go, and every time you glance at the clock, you see 1, 11, or 7, 7, 7. These are not random coincidences at all. They are direct confirmation signals from the divine realm, because your guardian angels are literally waving flags to get your immediate attention today. The massive shift in your reality has already begun. You can feel a strange sense of anticipation hovering in the air around you, and it feels exactly like a heavy thunderstorm is about to break the summer heat. But this time the storm is bringing a flood of absolute abundance instead of pain. The universe has already dispatched your long-awaited blessings, and they are currently in transit. But there is a deeper layer to this phenomenon. The spiritual realm has done its part to prepare the ultimate table for you, and the wealth and the deep connections are actively knocking on your front door. So why are they not walking inside your house yet? Why do you still feel like you are standing outside, looking in through a locked glass window? The answer is entirely physical. Your soul is fully prepared, but your physical brain is still damaged. The long years of toxic abuse forced your nervous system into a chronic survival state. Your brain is still emitting panicked beta waves. And those low-frequency stress signals act like a thick concrete wall blocking the miracles from entering your physical reality. You are blocking your own blessings without even knowing it. You cannot simply wish this biological barrier away, and you cannot use pure willpower to rewrite decades of deep neurological trauma. But before we go any further, I have to tell you something incredibly important. It is something the elite people who profit from your endless exhaustion desperately do not want you to know. Science has finally discovered exactly how to bypass this specific block. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists, working quietly away from the loud headlines, has found a remarkable solution. They discovered exactly how to bring this dormant gamma brainwave back to life. And they did it without requiring years of difficult meditation that most exhausted people simply cannot sustain. Nor did they use expensive clinical biofeedback machines. They found a way to achieve this through something far simpler. It is a method far more aligned with how your beautiful mind was originally designed to work. They engineered a very specific sound frequency to safely guide your brainwave patterns back to the genius state you were born with. This is not some spiritual myth. This is hard science catching up to ancient divine wisdom. The brilliant researchers at Princeton University have studied this exact phenomenon extensively, and the famous Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed the incredible results of this frequency. Columbia University even found that when this specific brainwave is successfully reactivated, it does not stop with you alone. It begins to positively influence the people around you in a powerful way. The restorative gamma frequency radiates outward from your mind, and it actively touches your children and your partner to heal your entire household. And the most amazing part of this discovery is how little effort it actually requires from you. It takes exactly 7 minutes a day to start reversing the deep neurological damage, and it begins working the very first time you close your eyes and listen. This is the missing physical key you have been begging for. I will tell you exactly what it is called and how to access it before this message ends. You have my absolute word on that. But first, there is something critical you need to fully understand about why your final breakthrough is being tested right now. Do not let your guard down just yet, because the enemy is very desperate. As this realization settles into your tired spirit, you must remain vigilant. The dark forces know that you are only inches away from claiming your divine inheritance. They know that once your gamma frequency is restored, you will become completely untouchable. You will step into your destined role as a master of reality, and they will lose all control over your bright energy field. That is exactly why they are setting one final trap for you, right at the finish line, because they desperately want to distract you before you can activate this powerful scientific tool. They will try to pull you back into the familiar chaos just as the golden door begins to open. You must be prepared to face this last illusion with a calm and silent authority. You cannot afford to fail this final exam. Take a deep breath and center your mind right now. You are no longer the weak victim who cowers in the shadows of narcissists. You are a chosen cycle breaker, holding the keys to generational wealth. The universe is aligning everything in your favor, but you must walk through this last fire with your eyes wide open. Listen very closely, because the next part will save your life. But before we go to the deeper signs, you must hear this warning. I have to address something incredibly urgent first. There is a fatal trap set right at the finish line of your journey, and 99% of chosen ones fall for this dark illusion right before their massive breakthrough. The enemy knows you are about to unlock your true power today. They know they cannot stop the universe from delivering your blessings, so they will try to trick you into walking away from the golden door. Have you noticed how quiet it was for months until just recently? And now suddenly the toxic people from your past are reaching out again because an old friend or a narcissistic ex wants to check in on your life. This is absolutely not a random coincidence. It is a calculated spiritual attack designed to drain your rising energy. They are starving because they no longer have access to your pure light, and the dark forces are using them as crude puppets to pull you back into the painful beta wave cycle of survival. So you must ignore their desperate little texts completely. Do not reply to their empty apologies. Do not offer them closure. Your absolute silence is the only weapon you need to use right now. When you ignore their attempts to reconnect, you prove to the universe that you have finally learned your lesson, and you prove that your vessel is clean and ready to receive the immense generational wealth. The test is almost over, but the toxic people are only the first half of this fatal trap. The second half is much more deceptive and dangerous. The elite forces that profit off your mental exhaustion are actively creating spiritual counterfeits to distract you. They see you searching for the physical key to restore your gamma frequency, and they desperately want to hand you a fake key instead. They will flood your path with cheap imitations and empty promises. They want you to waste your time on things that keep you trapped in the illusion. Darkness always creates a convincing counterfeit right when a chosen one is close to their final breakthrough, because they want to dilute your vibration so you never reach the ultimate level of a master of reality. You must use your sharp spiritual discernment right now. You can feel the heavy difference between a fake frequency and a divine transmission. Your intuition is already screaming at you to stay alert and focused. The true path will never ask you to compromise your peace or your safety, but God often provides the exact tool we need if we are wise enough to recognize it. Take a deep breath and let the chaotic noise fade away completely. The pitch-black darkness has officially retreated behind you. The bright dawn of the new era is shining its brightest rays onto your spiritual crown today. But you must actively claim this new timeline before the enemy tries to steal it again, and you need to physically lock down your boundaries to stay safe. The universe is watching your response in this exact second. If you sit back and do nothing, the dark forces will launch another attack tonight. You cannot afford to be passive when your entire destiny is on the line. To lock in this glorious frequency, you must create an absolute shield of protection around your aura, and you must take a physical action right now. Type the word Amen down in the comments to seal this reality. Type 111 to claim this divine alignment forever. Do not let your ego convince you that typing a word is foolish or unnecessary. This is an energetic anchor that tells the heavenly courts you are ready and willing, so tap your keyboard like a sword cutting through the rusty chains of pain. When you declare your readiness openly, the demons must flee from your presence. Your simple action builds a fortress of light that no narcissist can ever penetrate. Declare down in the comments that you are ready to receive your kingdom connection. The angels are waiting for your physical signal to release the heavy floodgates of abundance over your life, and they will not wait forever. Now that your protective shield is firmly in place, we can proceed. The trap has been exposed, and the counterfeits have been destroyed by your faith. You are standing safely at the edge of the ultimate revelation. The scientific tool I mentioned earlier is about to be placed directly into your hands, and this is the exact moment the massive spiritual shift occurs. Your long season of painful waiting has officially expired. The heavy burden of survival mode is melting away from your tired shoulders. You have done the difficult inner work to clear out the toxic attachments from your past. Now you simply need the physical key to unlock your dormant genius state, and the dedicated researchers I told you about have finalized their incredible work. I was debating whether to share this sacred information with the public, but my spirit would not let me stay silent while you suffer. You deserve to know the truth about your suppressed brainwaves. You deserve to experience the effortless flow of wealth and deep connection. So stay completely focused, because I am about to hand you the name of your deliverance. The long waiting season is officially over today. The dry desert you walked through has suddenly burst into an oasis of divine favor, because heaven has finally approved your ultimate promotion. Every closed door is being blown completely off its hinges right now. Can you feel that massive shift in your tired spirit? That is the glorious frequency of absolute victory. You are stepping into the exact timeline you were born to rule, and the dark forces can do absolutely nothing to stop it. And the burning question I asked you to hold at the beginning of this urgent message: what if the massive gap is not a character flaw? Here is the final answer you have been begging for. A specific brainwave was running in your mind as a child at a genius level. They call it the gamma wave. Princeton University has studied this exact phenomenon extensively, and the famous Einstein Center in Berlin confirmed its incredible power. Columbia University found that when this brainwave is restored, it radiates outward and begins influencing the people you love. A dedicated team of brilliant neuroscientists, led by Dr. Robert Lake in New York, spent years working on this. They successfully compressed the full clinical protocol for gamma reactivation into 7 minutes. Before I tell you what they built, let me tell you about 2 people who used it. A tired woman from California had tried absolutely everything. She tried daily meditation and manifesting and constant prayer. But nothing broke the heavy fog in her mind until she found this specific key. After 2 weeks of listening, she said something finally cleared, and she realized her marriage shifted while her mind sharpened. She described her daily life as enchanted for the very first time. A struggling man from Texas started using it to improve his business focus. 2 months later, his wife joked that his intelligence had jumped 20 points. The hardest problems he used to lose sleep over started solving themselves while he slept peacefully. He said it felt like his brain was finally running on what it was always supposed to run on. That is because of what the dedicated researchers I am about to name discovered. They call it the Genius Song. It is absolutely not a simple meditation app. It is not a generic sound frequency you find online. It is a 7-minute audio track using advanced brain entrainment technology. It is the exact same underlying research that Princeton and Berlin and Columbia successfully validated, and they compressed 1 full hour of intense clinical protocol into something you do at home. You just use your headphones and keep your eyes closed. That is the entirety of what it requires from you. Just 7 minutes a day. You do not meditate, and you do not chant. You simply let the frequency do what your tired brain was designed to receive. But the Genius Song is not for everyone, because it is strictly for the chosen one who has already done the heavy inner work. It is for the rare soul who understands that their spiritual channel needs a physical restoration. If your spirit confirms this is for you, the path is below. Clinical biofeedback sessions to restore this state cost hundreds of dollars per hour. A bulky in-home machine runs thousands of dollars. What the Genius Song delivers in 7 minutes is available to you today for a tiny fraction of its true value. 4 powerful bonuses come directly with it. You get an audio designed specifically for your children, and you receive the original prosperity text that secret societies built their wealth upon. You also get a guided visualization and a daily habits guide. Here is the deeper truth about waiting. The immense blessing that heaven arranged for you does not arrive as new information. It arrives as a sudden recognition. Something already placed in your path becomes visible when your gamma frequency is restored. So, waiting is not neutral, and the arrangement is already in motion. The chosen one, who restores the receiver today, does not receive something new. They finally see what was always there waiting for them. Do not look for this tool on YouTube or Spotify. The tracks circulating under similar names on those platforms have absolutely no brain entrainment technology encoded. The only authentic version is available through the secure link, and it has been carefully placed in the description and the pinned comment below. The universe requires no risk from a chosen one. If you do not feel the massive shift, every single penny is returned to you. That is an energetic exchange governed by complete trust. The link is waiting in the description and in the pinned comment below. The physical tool is not the final destination. The tool merely restores your receiver so the beautiful destination can be recognized when it arrives. Heaven does not require you to purchase anything to be loved or chosen. What was described is simply one powerful way the receiver is restored. Whether that specific path is for you or not, The deep truth of this message belongs to you entirely. Now, let us go deeper into what is waiting for you in this new timeline. For the chosen one whose spirit confirmed what was described earlier today, the path remains open in the description and the pinned comment. That is the last time it will ever be mentioned in this message. What follows now belongs entirely to your glorious ceiling, and you have finally stepped out of the heavy shadows to claim a brand new timeline. The waiting is completely over. You have walked through a dry and barren desert for so many long years. You wondered if the promised rain would ever actually fall upon your life. There were dark nights when you questioned your own sanity, because the heavy silence of heaven felt absolutely deafening in your empty room. But every single tear you cried in secret was collected and weighed by the divine counsel. You were never ignored. The toxic people who caused those painful tears are permanently sealed behind you now. The narcissists who tried to extinguish your rare flame have completely lost their access to your pure energy forever. They are sitting in the dark right now, and they are wondering why their clever manipulation tactics no longer work on your mind. Your silence became the heavy wall they could never climb over. You defeated them quietly. Watch very closely how your physical reality changes over the next few weeks. The heavy doors that were slammed in your tired face will suddenly swing wide open. Strangers will look at you completely differently today, because your restored aura is commanding absolute respect without a single spoken word leaving your mouth. You are walking wrapped in a thick and impenetrable shield of divine protection. Nothing can harm you now. You are no longer the exhausted empath who begged the world to be understood. The intense crucible of painful rejection has forged you into the untouchable master of your reality. From this exact moment onward, your pure energy demands total compliance from the entire room. The divine wealth you were promised is flowing effortlessly into your hands, and you do not have to fight those exhausting invisible wars anymore. Your peace is permanent. The massive generational wealth transfer is no longer a distant spiritual promise. It is manifesting into your physical bank accounts and your daily opportunities. You will start having those brilliant eureka moments, and complex problems will suddenly solve themselves with very little effort on your part. The universe is actively conspiring to make your life incredibly easy. You have finally earned this grace. But you must stay completely grounded in this newly elevated frequency. Do not let the sudden rush of abundance make you forget the long battles, because heaven wants you to remember exactly how you earned this heavy crown. Heaven is handing you the keys to the kingdom because your heart remains pure. You will use this immense power to heal your lineage and break the toxic cycles forever. You are the ultimate anomaly. The universe promises that you will never have to walk through that dark valley alone again. The painful isolation protocol has been completely deactivated. You are now surrounded by the invisible armies of heaven, and they are actively clearing all the dangerous debris from your golden path. Whenever you feel a moment of doubt, remember this divine transmission. You are deeply loved. Your quiet authority is the most dangerous weapon on this entire earth today. You have finally realized that you were the beautiful storm all along. The people who underestimated your gentle nature are going to watch you rise to heights they cannot even comprehend. Let them watch from a safe distance while you quietly build your glorious empire. Their jealousy confirms your success. But holding this immense spiritual power comes with a very sacred responsibility. God is watching your response in this exact second. If this fiery message has reignited the dying faith inside your tired soul, you absolutely cannot keep this great blessing hidden away in the dark. There is another rare soul out there bleeding in the cold despair. They desperately need a guiding light today. Do not hoard this glorious revelation all to yourself right now. Share this exact message with someone who truly needs it to multiply your own blessing. Sowing the simple seed of hope today is actively multiplying the massive harvest for yourself tomorrow. When you send this frequency to another chosen one, you are partnering with heaven. and you prove to the universe that your hands are completely open. Seal your blessing right now. Take one last deep breath and let the noise fade away forever. You survived the brutal training ground, and you successfully passed the ultimate test of spiritual endurance that broke so many others before you. Your spirit is officially marked with the permanent seal of divine favor. Walk forward with your head held high and never apologize for your brilliant light again. You are the chosen cycle breaker. The long wait is completely over, and your brand new timeline is fully activated. Go out into the world and boldly claim every single thing that heaven has prepared for you. The angels are loudly cheering for your massive victory today. Thank you for staying until the very end of this urgent transmission, and may the universe continue to bless your beautiful soul forever. Your absolute reign begins right now.